variance. So the whole idea is to buy votes. I mean, there's no question about that.
So are you saying that they start buying votes at the beginning of the 5-year cycle?
Exactly. So yesteryears, we used to know that the elections, there will be more spending in the last 6 months. And the government would actually adhere to the complaints of civil servants in the last 6 months. You know, if you remember yesteryears, the teachers will be given their money. Now government don't listen to teachers. They don't listen to nurses because they have seen that they don't vote for them. You see, they listen to the constituents where the votes are coming from.
Hello gorgeous people, welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is Uncensored with Rumbi. So guys, thank you so much for passing by. I just want to say to everyone, shout out to my regulars, the family that sticks around with me, and also for those that are just passing by for the first time. I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you turn on the notification button because I have so much to share. Okay, so today we are looking at Gift Mugano, the professor. Okay, he just confirmed that Zanu started campaigning for elections in 2018. The appointment of Mr. Chinamasa as the Minister of Finance started a hell of chaos and mess in Zimbabwe. For this and more, please stay tuned.
Unit government. Honorable BT had a budget surplus. He was averaging $250 million, US dollars. And he was on a mode of we eat what we kill. Now, you are talking about the cost. The Minister Chinamasa came in immediately after taking over as ZANU-PF government, control of government. He took the lead off the port. And we moved from a budget surplus of $250 million to 2018 August national debt of $9.4 billion, right?
In 5 years.
Yeah, in 5 years. Because now that's where you begin now this command agriculture, you know, and subsidies, you see. And on 1 August, after the elections, there was shooting. And the Minister Finance came in with his budget and we cheated
the surplus.
The surplus, which has never been a surplus. And you saw what happened on our current cycles, how we've lost our Zim dollar, and how we have lost on inflation petrol. And what did we get in between? We get command agriculture, we get from foods, we get presidential goats, presidential poultry, presidential cotton, presidential horticulture. Everything is with a presidential suffix, a prefix, sorry. So what has happened is means we are now using money to campaign from 1 August 2018 to date. The budget for 28, which is my last point, 2023, 4.5 trillion, when it was presented, it was massive. They were not supporting fundamentals to qualify that size of the budget because the GDP was expected to grow by 3%, but the increase in the budget was above 100% of the previous budget. You get what I'm saying? So already, and if you look at its allocation, which is very important, it's going to ministries which have to do the politics, your defense, your war veterans. It's going to agriculture, you know. It's going to even president's office getting $160 billion, right? So the point I'm making is that our budget also reflects the mode of the election, and that's why you see when we discuss further, the rate is running out. What is the cost? The cost is quite massive.
This is sad. It's actually very sad to listen to. You know, Zimbabwe is such a very rich country. I mean, when he mentioned about the numbers, I'm not surprised. I mean, considering that we have minerals, we have gold, we have lithium, we have coal, we have diamonds. I mean, we have heard stories about diamonds. We are such a rich, extremely rich country, but yet the most poorest country. Like in Africa right now, we're just becoming a joke. You know, the most learned people, but still finding ourselves in a very compromised positions. When you look at migration today, it says a lot about who we are. When you look at our people in general, it says a lot about who we are. And now the question that everyone should have today is, why do we allow this going forward? And I think the very same question, Dr. Mandaza. So he said, when we allow and watch, as we have all done so far, the obscenities around the gold mafia, the Chrome scandal and someone flaunting the purchase of nearly 2 million worth of super luxury vehicles. What does it say of all of us as Zimbabweans? So when he was talking about luxury vehicles, he was referring to weakness. Military purchased a lot of expensive luxury vehicles. When I just look at the story of weakness, to me, I see what we call poverty mentality. So what poverty mentality does is he thinks that your value is in material stuff. That's poverty mentality. Is when you actually eradicate the important things and then you channel money into stupid stuff. A car tomorrow is going to be done. If you go to the scriptures, you see the most expensive car just chucked like it's nothing, right? So, but wisdom is we look at the vision, we look at the prosperity of the nation, the prosperity of our people, is where we should channeling our energy and time and our resources. The growth of a country. Imagine getting into a country where there's water, electricity, water, everything is intact, clean streets, buildings that are clean. But now you move around in a rural, for example, buildings they can't really be painted, streets. But people have been doing a lot of work, but working and cleaning up does not take away the fact that things looks very old. It doesn't take away that. It is very sad, but it's a reality that we are so successful. But the question is, why do we allow people to carry on? Because one thing that I don't like is, I'm not saying that politics is not involved, is to allow a political banner to manipulate us. Because people are now hiding behind the political banner while they practice. And I know some people have a completely different perspective, and I respect that. But as far as I'm concerned, I can never sit and say Mr. Mnangagwa is the problem. No. There's a number of people here who are using him, hiding behind his leadership while playing their criminality there. And it's a fact. Because I can just look at my dad. My dad is almost 70 years old, right? There are things that he doesn't even understand. We all know that now if we can take these iPads or whatever the case may be, and to the president said he must use that, those gadgets don't really work for him because he's old school. So he's more of paperwork, right? So people are manipulating systems to benefit them. They are really thugs who are hiding behind the political banner of ZANU-PF. And I'm sorry to say this, it is a fact. And then people are just bashing ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF has got other people who are suffering today. And I don't know if you guys listened to the interview that was done by Eddie Cross. Eddie Cross mentioned that Oppah Muchinguri has nothing to a name. That if she retires today, that lady won't be able to sustain her life. I was shocked to hear that. Take a listen.
What these guys have been contending with. Even today, I talked to Oppah Muchinguri on Saturday. And she said to me, I'm getting close to, I don't know how old Oprah is. She doesn't look her age. But she said to me, I'm about to retire. And she said to me,
You're most welcome.
It's a real problem. I don't have anything to retire on.
Oh, okay.
That's because if you're not a crook, and let me tell you, there are honest ministers. Ncube at tourism, he's as straight as a die. The new minister of transport, straight as a die. So there is a younger generation coming up, but we need.
Okay, so our primary audience is business, and we get worried because in all our analysis, what we tend to look at is the cost of the actual election. So, the 6 months before the election. And what you're coming out and actually telling us is, guys, that's actually the more benign expenditure. What comes after is even worse.
Correct.
So then my natural question to you is why?
No, it's clearly very simple. It's an issue of sustaining power, maintaining power. African politics is very simple. Those who are in office, if you look at even some of the things which I was asking when I was looking at the expenditure. Last year, government was saying they're going to be supporting 3 million households with the Fumbudza. But when you look at the Zimstats figures, we have around below 2.5 million households. So already the budget is actually for more than...
Yeah, it's actually 3.8 million households.
Yeah.
When Zimstats is actually saying that all our households are 3 million.
Yeah, correct.
The entire nation.
Yeah. There's a variance. So the whole idea is to buy votes. There's no question about that.
So are you saying that they start buying votes at the beginning of the 5-year cycle?
Exactly. So yesteryears, we used to know that the elections, there will be more spending in the last 6 months. And the government would actually adhere to the complaints of civil servants in the last 6 months. You know, if you remember yesteryears, the teachers will be given their money. Now government don't listen to teachers, they don't listen to nurses, because they have seen that they don't vote for them. You see, they listen to the constituents where the votes are coming from. That's why you hear from Vudza. That's why you see Command Agriculture, the Rural Development Program, which has got 8 focus areas where you talk of the goats, the chicken, the poultry, the fisheries, cotton, horticulture, innovation, and intervention in the rural areas. The idea is to make sure that the electorate is very happy. But the challenge which you are facing in business, as you are saying, when you are having subsidies and distortions, it affects the normal running of markets. Because, for example, if I am in the value chain of agricultural sector, as an example, very difficult to contract farmers who are supposed to be adhering to the tenets of contract farming when the very same farmers are being given free inputs. That's why you see that we are in short supply of basic commodities like soybean, but we are not in short supply of tobacco. Why? Because tobacco, there's no elections in the election year in tobacco. Okay. The market system which is working, and we are exporting. We are actually top 5 in the world. Yes. So that's the basic thing. The business sectors in that value chain where there is campaigning, they suffer the consequence of subsidies.